Shalom Israel, giving all praise to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shah, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash, double honors to the elders of GMS who rule well. Salutation to you, Akim, out there, pushing his word in sincerity and truth. Um, yeah, all you Akim pushing his word in sincerity and truth, risking your freedom and your life to do so. More so now than ever before. This is going to be a quick one. Really quick. As you may know, today's date is May 23rd, 2019, and this is from a website that I like to get my information from because it's straightforward. It's straight to the point. There's no BS cover up. Everything you need to know in a short few paragraphs. Okay, full of information. Okay, so this is from the shithitsthefan.com. plan.com, which is shtfplan.com. And if you can see, it says, when it hits the fan, don't say we didn't warn you. Right. And that's exactly what our job is as prophets and men of the Lord, is to warn you according to prophecy. Okay, so I'm going to read into it. I'm going to read it, then I'm going to get some scriptures. It said, UN Armed Chief says nuclear war is closer than ever since World War II. Well, let me get this first. This is Revelations 11, verse 14. And the second woe is past, and behold, the third woe comes quickly. Now, woe means destruction or mass death. Now, the woe in this sense, or the woe in Revelation, means world war. So the second world war has passed. That's already went. This is the revelation that John received on the island of Patmos through Yahweh Shah. Okay, and it says, and behold, the third woe comes quickly. Now, if you read the whole book of Revelations, you never see a fourth woe. It only stops at three woes. Is woe number one, second woe, and third woe, which is third war. Okay, and the third war literally started a couple of years after the second war finished under Cuban Missile Crisis, which was the building of atomic warfare. That was the third war. So it says, UN Arms Chief says nuclear war is closer than ever since World War II, right? Because the thing that ended World War II was the fact that America dropped bombs, atomic warfare on the two cities in Japan, which is Hiroshima and Nagasaki, totally decimating the land, massacred 120,000 people with one bomb, okay? So that put it into World War II, but ever since then, it's been an arms race to get this weaponry and to have as many as possible to scare other nations. But all nations have this weaponry now, which we know is according to prophecy. Now it says United Nations arms official has declared nuclear war to be closer than ever it has ever been since World War II. The geopolitical climate is so divisive and disturbing right now that globalists are actually telling us a nuclear war could be coming. The head of the United Nations Institute for Disarmament Research, Director Renata Wan, said in an interview that the use of nuclear weapons is more likely today than any time since the U.S. bombing of Hiroshima and Nagasaki in Japan in 1945. Remember what I said, this is the war that ended World War II. And matter of fact, Japan had surrendered, but I forgot what the president at the time was his name. He dropped the bomb anyway, and that's also another verse in Revelation saying that he caused a fire to come down from heaven upon earth in the sight of men that caused them to tremble, to be fearful, because that bomb right there said a lot. That was a big statement that, look, we have this much power to utter obliterate your country, okay, with a single press of a button. So ever since then, all nations been gearing up to get these weaponry so that wouldn't happen to them, or at least if that happens to them, they can retaliate. So it says, adding that the use of such weapons today carried a greater risk than ever, according to the Reuters. And this is in quotations. I think that it's genuinely a call to recognize, and this has been somewhat missing in the media coverage of the issues, that the risk of nuclear war are particularly high now, right? Because they don't want you people to know that, look, we're heading into a nuclear war, according to prophecy. Let me get the scripture. This is Isaiah 9:5. For every battle of the warriors with confused noise and garments rolled in blood. Now, we know in history, like, for instance, shows like the Game of Thrones, every time a nation went to war, it was with swords, spears, bucklers, shields, arrows, okay, bowsmen, mighty men in the front lines, the infantry, to a close quarter combat, or what the military calls CQC. And as a result, you would have a lot of noise, clashing of the swords and shields, and the clothes be drenched in the blood of other men. That's how all wars are fought. But this shall be with burning and fuel of fire. Now, there was never a war in history that was specifically only used weapons that burn and fuel fire specifically. Never in history. But this war, or Third World War, is very much possible that only fire can be used. So what's Isaiah talking about? The thermonuclear missiles. And it says, of course, no, Salaki, it says, and the risk of the use of nuclear weapons for some of the factors I pointed out are higher now than at any time since World War II, she told the news service. Speaking about a call from 122 nations to ban such weapons entirely, Don said that the United Nations should be doing more to ban nuclear weapons. How we think about that and how we act on that risk and the management of that risk seems to me a pretty significant and urgent question that isn't reflected fully in the United Nations Security Council. Right, so our goal is for nations to disarm themselves of nuclear missiles, to put it away. But the Most High don't want that. The Lord don't want that. His unction is to destroy these nations with thermonuclear fire. I get this, Zechariah 14:12. And this shall be the plague wherewith the Lord will smite all the people that fought against Jerusalem. Jerusalem is a people before its place. So all the nations that ever went against us, oppressed us, afflicted us, this is the judgment he's going to use. Their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet, and the eyes shall consume away in their holes, and the tongue shall consume away in their mouth. And the only thing that's possible to do that is nuclear warfare. Okay? And it says, of course, a ban only works if countries are going to obey. Should nations defy a UN nuclear weapons ban, there's literally nothing the UN can do about it. There are far too many nukes out there for the UN's words to matter. The Treaty for the Prohibition of Nuclear Weapons, which is backed by a group that won the Nobel Peace Prize in 2017, is currently supported by more than 100 nations, most of which do not have any nuclear weapons. Yeah, because they don't have weapons, so they trying to like, yeah, let's have peace. It has been rectified by 23 countries out of the 50 it requires to take effect. Again, even if it takes effect, large players such as the United States, Russia, and China could defy the ban and still start a nuclear war. And that's what's going to happen. The U.S., which has advocated against the proliferation of nuclear weapons around the world, has opposed the treaty. Right, so proliferation means, well, let's look it up. Proliferation, rapid increase in number. So proliferation means rapidly increasing numbers. So it says the United States, which has advocated against proliferation of nuclear weapons around the world, meaning they're telling other nations don't build your weaponry, but they're building their weapons. So it says has opposed the treaty. So they went against their own word. and oppose the treaty. They told you not to do it, but they're doing it themselves, as do other nuclear powers such as Russia and China. And that's all it would take to negate any kind of ban. Hopefully, politicians all over the world can refrain from starting a nuclear war, but if they can't, know how to protect yourself the best way you can. And, really, protection is futile against nuclear warfare. You can't hide in a bunker deep enough to escape the wrath. And even if you did to come out your bunker, you'd die anyway from a nuclear winter. You see? So let me get this. Isaiah 13 and 19. In Babylon, the glory of kingdoms, the beauty of the Chaldees' excellency shall be as when God overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah. And how did the Lord overthrow Sodom and Gomorrah? With fire and brimstone from heaven. And it shall never be inhabited, neither shall it be dwelt in from generation to generation, neither shall the Arabian pitch their tent there, neither shall the shepherds make their fold there, but wild beasts of the dead shall lie there, and their houses shall be full of doleful creatures, and the hours shall dwell there, and satyrs shall dance there, and the wild beasts of the island shall cry in their desolate houses, and the dragons in their pleasant palaces, and her time is near to come, and her days shall not be prolonged. And that's what the scriptures say. So World War III is coming, and it will be fulfilled. So, Lord willing, you will edify, giving all praise to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushua, by Hashem Wakakadash, the body to the others, the GMS, and Shalom.